All right, we are live.
All right. Hi, welcome to our Atheist Republic Hangout. Today we're going to be discussing publishing with Atheist Republic, and we do have a few of our authors that are going to be here. One of them is Courtney. She's here as well. We are waiting on Casper, who should show up. He's kind of our go-to guy for publishing. Um, He's got a lot of our great books that I know a lot of people have read and loved. The Bible in a Nutshell being his greatest, I think, in my opinion. So we've got a very exciting hangout here today. I am also working on a few projects. One of them is with Casper. It's kind of slowed down, but we're going to hop back into that. I've also got a book called Asphalt Flowers and Crumbled Towers, which is going to be kind of a book about children in atheism, children that have grown up in religion that have turned to atheism. And it's kind of a book from a psychological point of view. So we've got a lot of great things going on here today.
So, so maybe we should tell people what we do with this, what this Atheist Republic Publishing even is, right? So, because we're offering a service to people that are interested in publishing their books, but they don't want to go like find publishers that and get rejected all the time. What we do is as long as we could determine that somebody has the ability to write and has something interesting to share, what we do is we offer like cover design services, editing services, marketing services, and we put their books. We'll print. We do the printing services and put their books on Amazon, iBooks, Kobo, Nook, everywhere, all the major online retailers for them. And the good thing about Atheist Republic, when authors publish their book with Atheist Republic, the good thing about it is that unlike publishing with other books, with other publishers, they get to keep the rights to their books. So other publishers usually take all the rights of the book from the author. Um, but with Atheist Republic, authors get to keep it. That means that if they want to change their mind, they get to move their book away to somewhere else. And that means they could sell their books on their own platforms as well as an Atheist Republic will help them promote their book on Atheist Republic platforms. And Atheist Republic has a huge platform. Like we have more than 1 million followers worldwide, so we could come up with ways to try to get and we have come up with ways, and we're discussing new ways. This is even though this is a new project that we started, Atheist Republic Publishing has picked up very fast. If you go to Amazon, Amazon right now and look at the atheism category, the first page of atheism is like at least 3 of the books there on the first page is already Atheist Republic books. So we're doing very well with publishing our books, but we only just got started, and we're coming up with new ways to promote. We have our Facebook page, we have our newsletter, we have our many different ways to try to reach out to more people. Another thing that is great about publishing with Atheist Republic is that we try to only get enough of the royalty to cover the cost of some of the things we do, but the author keeps most of the royalties, which is very different from what publishers do. Basically, what we are doing is along the line with our philosophy of just trying to give a voice to any atheists that want to have something to say. We believe that atheists all around the world are unfairly silenced, so we try to come up with different ways to give them a voice. So far, we have accepted bloggers to come blog for Atheist Republic, and all of a sudden they have access to our large audience. We now doing videos. With anybody with a message could do a video. Andrew, can you mute yourself because we're getting some background noise a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I went ahead and muted him, so if you need any
Ali already did that, so you know where you are. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think I muted him, and then he muted himself, so it was like double muting going on. That was my fault. Sorry. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. So we let atheists, when it comes to our podcast, when it comes to our videos, when it comes to our blog, when it comes to our social media, everything we do is try to make atheists around the world, not, from anywhere around the world, to be able to just reach out to more people. And we try to be the bridge between them and a large audience. And that's why we're trying to get our translation team picking up too, so that there's also not a language barrier. So people from that don't speak English get to reach a large audience from around the world as well. And also people that speak English but not other language could also understand a lot of people from, atheists from Brazil, from Indonesia, and anywhere else. So this book publishing is our most recent attempt of trying to find more ways to give a voice to atheists. And basically, we're trying to reduce the barriers to entry for becoming an author of a book as much as we possibly can for atheist authors. And that's basically the whole point of us doing this. Ali and Casper have been involved in this. Casper has been managing this a lot, and Ali and Casper are also working on their own joint book. Casper has been a writing machine. He's been, pumping out books left and right, and they're all very great books. And he could talk more about that and about. Casper, do you want to tell us a little bit about the process of what we do when it comes to publishing books and getting it out there? You're muted.
All right. Can everybody hear me? All right. So our process for publishing books is basically the same as any self-publishing process. We use the same websites and distribution centers that any self-published author would use. So there's no upfront cost to the author unless you need a personal word processing program for doing your writing or whatnot. We're able to help produce a very professional-looking cover for your book, front, back, for print, and as well as a cover that will be seen on all the major online distribution centers. And we help with editing, proofing, all that process. Ali has jumped in and offered to help with the proofing, so that's been very, very helpful. Because that's one of the things that just that's a cost that can really eat at a writer to get their stuff out there. So luckily we have a big team of people that are willing to get involved and volunteer their time to help us get authors' words out there to the public. Very grateful for that team, and always anybody that's out there watching that thinks they might be interested in just proofreading a book, editing a book, helping us out on the team in any way, shape, or form, blogging, newsletter writing. We need people. We need people to help. Last month or so, I've had submissions of 3 new books. So I've got 3 new books that need to be proofread, edited, all that stuff. I've had people contact me, at least 5 new people contact me about getting published through us. So there's a huge interest in I'm sorry, I think I locked up there for a minute. There's a huge interest in the Atheist Republic brand and seeing what we have to bring to the table and can offer in terms of helping to promote and get the word out there. People are really starting to recognize the Atheist Republic name. You know, the other big names out there, Dawkins, Harris, we're starting to get some recognition and starting to have people see what it is that we do and what it is that we have to offer. So it's also, because of that, we're also getting a lot more interest in how people can be a part of that. And there's lots of different ways to be a part of that. The book publishing is just one way that we're able to get your words out there. But if you think you'd like to blog with us, or even help with writing news articles. I mean, maybe there's Maybe you live in a Muslim-run country that there's a lot of news going on that we're not hearing about out in the rest of the world. We'd love to hear about that, and we'd love to have a writer or somebody to join the team from that area that could really talk to us about it and spread the word. If you're feeling unsafe about that, we do offer total anonymity, so you can do it completely anonymously. That's one of the things our writers love about us. We don't have a problem with you using a pen name or a pseudonym. If you don't want people to know who you are, but you want to get your words out there, we can make that happen. You know, and this is a safe environment for those people who are in an unsafe environment, who want to speak and who know that their words matter and people want to hear what they have to say.
Actually, can I?
Easy to publish a book, but it's hard to promote it. It's hard to have somebody say, hey, this is a great thing, check this out. And especially in the atheist community, because we're so small, there's not a lot of outside influence to promote us. You know, we're not getting promoted in the media and stuff like that. We have to do all that. So the Atheist Republic is just a great place to do it, because not only do we have the website and everything, but there's word of mouth, because people really like to talk about what's going on in the Atheist Republic. People talk about us all the time outside of our group, within our private group and stuff. People want to know what we're doing. So it's a great place to really promote yourself and to get your word out there. I think Courtney had something she wanted to add to that, though.
Oh, I know Armin wanted to say something.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, just to kind of add to the whole promotion aspect of it. For me, I've been self-published now for 2.5 years, and the promotion part of it is just, it's the hardest part. You know, I know that there's a lot of self-published authors out there like me who, you know, have good products, but they're just not being, you know, shown to the public. It's just so hard to break those barriers, and I'm thankful for Atheist Republic being there. I'm going to release a second edition of my children's book with you guys, the I'm a Little Thinker. So I'm hoping that it can reach kids, you know, that I can't reach right now myself.
Yeah, and I want to add something to what both of you said. With regards to the promotion and the editing and the cover design and just managing the books in general, if some people that would like to join the team, not maybe as a book author, but just as somebody that just helps maybe Casper and Ali with the process, maybe they think like they want to help authors, you know, be able to have, you know, if more people have their own voice. So if they want to help with editing books, if they want to help with, you know, just looking, managing a book from start to finish, for you know, just overseeing the whole process and looking to see what the authors want, or if the authors are happy with the cover or with the price or with the marketing and what the marketing process is, and just want to be involved with that. Also, people that think like, you know, I like this book and I want to translate it into my own language. For example, maybe they want to translate it into Arabic or to Spanish or to Persian to just make it available to more people. They could come up with a revenue sharing model with the author with regards to how they could share, you know, the sales of the translation of the book with each other. Or sometimes some authors would like to maybe decide that they want the Arabic version of their book to be for free, right? We could, you know, these are the good thing is, because the people that are on the team and are helping the authors, most of them are authors themselves. We're very flexible. We don't have like a rigid structure like a traditional publishing company does. So everything we do, we could you know, change our plans. We could come up with the exact model that works for every author. And yeah, and the great thing is that the team itself, every time you join the team, either as an author or somebody that just supports the group or somebody that blogs or somebody that does the social media, the level of commitment could be completely different depending on how much time somebody has. You could be like, maybe 1 week you're not, you're writing every day or working, committing, a lot of hours, and maybe for 6 months you're not there, and that's fine. That's the good thing about the Atheist Republic team, is that we're very flexible with regards to that. Any Somebody else wanted to say something? Karen?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I actually just just wrote something last night I was going to send in to Makisha, but I haven't done it yet. It was the middle of the night, so I'll get to it. I haven't written a lot for Atheist Republic, but when I first got involved, I was writing almost, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But time is, it's a challenge. So, yeah, I'd like to get back to putting some more things out there. It's just been really difficult lately. But, when I start thinking about where I want to go, I know that I want to get some more of my material out there. So I do have a few things to send in.
Well, that's actually great, because that's basically goes back to my point, where as a member of the Atheist Republic team, we could always just decide how much we want to commit based on how much we get, how much we think we want to help and how much we think we could get out of it. But the good thing about Atheist Republic is that we want to be able to, that whoever volunteers in our team, we want to be able to find ways to get their voice out, whatever it is, whether it's a blog or a book. So, and one thing we do now that we're adding more books to our portfolio, we use our already existing books to bring attention to our new books and vice versa. So the more books, because what we do in our books is that at the end of our books, we try to recommend our other books. One thing we do is we gave a lot of free books out, and at the end of those free books, we introduce people to the authors that we have. Also, whenever somebody blogs and they're also a book author, we try to promote their books within their blog posts. And some of the strategies that we've used have worked. Some of the strategies that some of them haven't worked, and we're always testing and experimenting and seeing what works. One thing I'm hoping to see we could do better is to reach out to people that are very well recognized within the atheist community and introduce our books to them directly, and maybe they could introduce the books to their community. That has been a very successful method, and we could try that and see if that works. One thing we also want to do later, something I'm doing a little bit, is to get invited to events to speak. And I've seen a lot of success with that. When you go to events and speak, you get a lot of interest in your books. So one thing I'm hoping we could do is to provide a system where we have people dedicated to finding opportunities and for our authors that are interested in public speaking. So everything we do at first is just just like the blogging, just like everything at first it was chaotic, and then we came up with the process and became organized, right? So when you look at the Atheist Republic news right now, we have a very a very good system on how we do our news. We have a very good system for how we do our blogging, from creation to editing, to publication, and to eventually to social media and promotion. When it comes to newsletter, we have that system in place. When it comes to blog, we have that system in place. When it comes to designing memes and quotes and putting it on social media, we have a very good system in place. But every one of these, it started at first with a lot of testing, and it was a little bit chaotic, but eventually we nailed it and we figured out what to do. Right now, Casper has gone through this process much faster than I thought he would. We are our books are getting way more attention than I thought they would. At this time, I thought we had to work much harder to get to that point. But we're doing very well, and you know, Casper is, I don't know how he does it, but he's very efficient at what he does. Casper, do you
I'm
want
curious
to?
to know, I mean, if you don't mind me asking a question, with all the new stuff going on, I wonder how many followers Atheist Republic, the website, has.
The website or our social media? Because
I guess I'm wondering more about the website, but
well, the website usually is you measure it by visits, not by
yeah,
follows,
like
right? So,
traffic.
yeah, so traffic. So from unique visitors, so when you count unique visitors, that means you don't. If somebody comes to your website 3 times in one day, you count that as one, right? Because so the number of unique visitors in one day is between 5 to 10,000. So
Did
on
you
a
say
daily basis.
1,000?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
you.
Yay.
Yeah, we get 5 to 10,000 visitors on our website per day. But I'm also very excited about the growth rate of our newsletter, because newsletter is something that people basically come to your website and they ask you to send them content. So that's much more effective than social media, because that's when people are basically looking forward to your emails because they asked you to send you emails, right? And you know, our open rates are very high. We get open rates from 30 to sometimes 40%. Usually average for open rates on emails are 5 to 10%. So our open rates are very good, and that's because Makisha has done a very good job with our emails and has made them very entertaining. So people are always like, sometimes when we are behind on our emails, people actually email us and tell them like, why didn't we? Where's our next newsletter? So that's how that's you know, that's how eager people are when it comes to receiving. And the good thing is, in our newsletter, most of them are basically just valuable content and interesting content. But every once in a while, for example, the next newsletter that is coming out, it's about Casper's book. So right now, Makisha is working on a newsletter that talks about the Bible in a nutshell. And so basically all the people, right now we have a little bit under 12,000 subscribers on our newsletter, so 11,900, right? And these are people that most of them will open their, like not most of them, but a lot of them will open their emails and basically, you know, when you post something on social media on your Facebook page, usually the number of people that will see it is 10 to 15%. And the number of people that will click on it is much lower. But when you have email subscribers, you have 30 to 40% of people that actually open it. That's a very much more effective way of reaching out to people than social media. So we're gonna see, once we send out these emails, I want to see the effect that it has on Casper's books. Yeah.
Do you know much about the demographics of people that come in? Is there any way to know what part of the world, what are their ages,
It's
you know, that
very,
kind of
very diverse. We have very diverse demographic. But if we wanted to see, I mean, we have like a slight emphasis on younger people, um, like between 20 and 30, but we have a very diverse demographic from all around the world. Number one country is active is actually now becoming the U.S. more than before. It used to be Pakistan, and you know, Egypt used to be number one, but now United States is becoming much more active than before. But I wanna also talk about the book that Ali and Casper are doing, because this is the first time we're doing a joint book with two authors working together. So do you guys want to talk about that book and what you guys are doing?
Do you want me to go?
Sure.
I can jump in. We haven't really done anything on it for a while, but it's going to be about atheists in the Bible Belt. It's a slow process because I know Casper is outrageously busy with his other books he's working on, and I've also finished up 2 that I kind of wanted to publish simultaneously. So I wanted to get those done and out to Atheist Republic first, just to kind of develop my I guess, standing as an author. But I think that the topic about it is fantastic, and coming from two people who are very good at voicing their experiences and kind of seeing things in different perspectives, as Casper and I do, I think that it'll be a very, very interesting book indeed.
Casper, do you want to mention something about the different books that we have coming up and working on?
Yeah. Also, you know, mine and Allie's book is probably going to be one of those where you get two perspectives that are so very different that it's just like, wow. Because the thing about it is we live in almost the same place. I mean, it's two different states across the country, and yet it's very similar. And we've adopted two pretty different attitudes about it. And so it's going to be a pretty unique book to look at two different perspectives and how it can shape people differently, even in the context of almost the exact same thing happening. The other projects we've got going on, Michael Sherlock just finished a book, his 5th book actually, and has sent that in. I think Allie is proofing that book right now, which is awesome. So it should be probably available in digital and print within, I'd say, about 2 to 3 weeks. So we're excited about that one. I know Michael's excited about publishing with us. We've got a project with David G. McAfee coming up. That's going to be, I think Chuck Harrison also is involved in that project, and so it's going to be that's going to be a very very interesting project to see. And then we've got some totally new, relatively unknown authors coming to the table as well, bringing some books to us. So it's going to be exciting. Before the year's out, we're going to have probably in the range of between 10 to maybe even 15 books published by Atheist Republic out there on the market, and that's just great. And having Courtney brings something a little special to the table too, because there's not a lot of secular children's books and more atheistly themed and geared children's books out there. So it's going to be great to offer to say that, yeah, we're not just offering these academic atheist books. We're offering everything. I think we've got one author that's offered a fiction novel that's atheistly themed, and I'll be helping walk him through that and produce that one here in the next few months. So great stuff coming in. Authors just really excited about working with us, and I'm going to be really happy promoting that stuff. I like being able to do a little more personal promotion on my own personal Twitter page and my author page and my Facebook page. God Doesn't Matter. I get to be a little more me on those than with what we try to do with Atheist Republic. So I can engage my followers there a little differently, and that's always fun. I like promoting other people's works a lot, especially if they're really fun works, because we do get a lot of really fun submissions. Because religion is silly, and it makes for some good reading when it comes to just explaining the silliness of it. It just yeah, it's been a lot of work though. It's a real process to figure out how to do this just right and get it right with the authors. But thankfully, we have a lot of really good authors willing to pitch in the effort on their own part, and a lot of really good teamwork. J.D. Brucker just put out a new book last month, and it's doing very well since coming out. And he's always a pleasure to work with. very understanding of us having to go through a learning process right now. So he's been really great to work with. Yeah, his new book's doing very well right now. So
actually, I want to add something to what you said. Wait, I'm gonna wait for you to. All right, good. So one thing you mentioned about your own social media platform. So one thing actually that I hope we could do, even we are doing for our authors, and we should continue to do, is we try to promote like every author. Sometimes they'll have their own author page or their own book page or their own Twitter account separate from Atheist Republic. And what we do at Atheist Republic, because we have a large following, we try to promote those accounts. So for example, every time we post a meme with a quote of our authors, we try to, I've been going through our list and try to make sure that we have the Twitter handle of the author there. Every time we're posting a blog post of our authors, we try to mention the Twitter handle of our author there. So and every time the author, for example, could basically come and ask, like, hey, if you post this meme, can you post a link to my Facebook page? We'll add that there. If you go to the blog post, Casper's blog post, for example, you can see that every time we post a blog post of Casper, and once somebody writes a blog post with Atheist Republic, that blog post gets promoted many times. We don't just post it one time and leave it. But you can see there that you can see a link to his books, you can see a link to his Twitter account separate from Atheist Republic, you can see a link to his Facebook page. So we try to make sure that our authors have the opportunity to not just rely on Atheist Republic's audience, but we try to help them promote their own following and their own separate fan base as well, because that's what readers care about the most. So the most successful authors are content is very important. Having good content is very important. But another thing, after having great content, I think the most important thing is to have a relationship with the community. If you, as an author, have a large following and a huge fan base, a lot of people are just waiting for you to write your next book, and they will buy it even before they know what it is, because they just know you and they trust you and they like your style. And it shouldn't be like, even though we have a big audience at Atheist Republic, maybe the author's style of promotion and style of talking to his or her audience might be different from Atheist Republic. So what we want to do is we want to help the author to grow his or her fan base on his own as well. Another thing I wanted to add, if I remember what it was, which I forgot, I will add later. But Casper, can you also mention how somebody could become an author when he wants to join and publish a book? What do they do?
Yeah, sure. We have we actually have a form submission on the Atheist Republic website that someone can fill out, and they can fill out the form there and submit some of their work as far as their written works go, or even submit a manuscript at the same time they fill out the submission form. And I'm actually not sure about the link to that. We'll make sure we link into that though with this video. But yeah, there's a form submission there, and you just fill it out. And we got a little terms of service on there. Basically, the only reason that's even there is just because legally we're distributing your material, and we want to make sure that you contain and retain the rights to your material, and that you're happy with the way that it's being used. So those terms of service are there more for the author than for us, but also, of course, to make sure that we have a legal standing for publishing your books. But anyone is welcome to read through that terms of service. They're there, posted on the website for everybody. If you like what we're offering, then sure, join up with us and submit your manuscript in there. Somebody will read through it, and because our team is ever growing, of course. So you know, these sorts of jobs will be shuffled off to other people eventually as we grow. But somebody will definitely read through your manuscript and let you know what we think about it, because as much as we want to publish everybody's words, there is a limitation as to just the quality of work that we're willing to put out there. We don't want to tarnish anyone else's reputation by just publishing insane things. So there is some level, but it's not some crazy high. We're not asking for academic scholars like Dawkins. You know, it's your everyday average guy can write a book and publish it through us, and we're not going to be like, oh yeah, that's crap, we're not publishing that. You know, it's a matter of, you know, if you want to publish conspiracy theories, yeah, we're probably not going to go there with you. But the process is really simple. Once you get a manuscript together, you send it to me or somebody else on the team that's stepping into this role. I know Brianna Keller has offered her time and is helping me step into this role. So she'll be a great asset to have, and she'll be helping out with managing some of these works. She's got some publishing experience, so that's great to have somebody else on the team that knows what they're stepping into. But yeah, you give me a manuscript and we'll check it out and go through it, and we'll format it. We'll make sure it's ready to go up onto the websites, and then we publish through Kindle Direct Publishing, which handles all of the Kindle store. And then through Smashwords, which handles all the other major retailers. That includes iTunes, iBooks, the Nook store from Barnes & Noble, and then Kobo, and a couple other online retailers that handle ebooks. So your book will be available on every marketplace out there. We also work with CreateSpace, which does print on demand. So your book will be available in print. As far as an author wanting copies of their own books, we can actually get you copies of your books at a discounted rate, and I can ship those to you. It's not a problem to do. So yeah, your book will be available in print, and then every digital distribution media out there. They'll be available everywhere. So it's a really unique process. And then of course, once your book's available, we start promoting it on the page. You know, we'll throw it up on your bio. We try to get with you to maybe post a blog or two. Videos, something else we've started doing, especially for authors, and we want to promote that really big right now on Facebook. Facebook's trying to promote them, so we're trying to promote them for authors, especially, and bloggers, pretty much anybody on the team that wants to do them, but especially for our authors and bloggers. If you want to promote your work, make a 5-minute video. We'll put it up on Facebook through social media, and you know, just talk about something relevant, a topic that's relevant to your work and what you're wanting to promote. And then at the end of it, just a little bit of a pop about, hey, this has to do with this such and such book and this and that. And we'll get it out there for you. We'll promote you that way. And it's a great way to promote yourself, especially when Facebook's latch on to it themselves and said they want to promote it. So we know when we put a video up, because Facebook's trying to promote videos, they put it out there for more viewers to see. So it's a great thing for us to be doing. So anybody out there that wants to put out a video, feel free to make one. I think Owen is editing those and getting those up on the website, doing a great job with that. So I think Courtney wanted to add something. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to add something from the author's perspective, just in case there are other authors out there who want to work with you guys. So far, it's been pretty decent. We're still in the early stages yet. I've been messaging Casper back and forth. But it's been really easy, and especially for someone like me who's used to the self-publishing aspect. You know, I'm used to doing it all on my own, so for me to actually, you know, trust somebody else to do it is a big thing. But it's been very nice, and I think that the process seems very easy continuing on. So if anybody really wants to do it, I definitely suggest giving it a shot. Just because, like, Armin and Casper said, they make it streamlined, and it's not like you don't have like this major deadline to do. They're not going to critique your work to the point where you're going to be in tears. Now, I haven't shown Casper a lot of my images yet, but so if he puts me in tears, then I'll retract that. But no, it's been pretty easy so far, and I'm very happy with it.
Bye.
Bye.
So something that I'd like to add too is just another way that you can kind of put a book out there with us is through blogs, because a lot of people have done their books and stages through blogs. So if you are already in the Atheist Republic team, or if you're thinking about blogging for Atheist Republic, a great way to do that would be kind of start off with a blog, see if you really enjoy the topic, and if you want to stick to that topic and that idea, if you have more to add to it, go ahead and do so. Make it a series, make it a book.
Actually, that's what I did. I wrote some blogs, and when I wanted to publish my book, I just took my blogs and put them together, and then I had a book. I didn't have to do any extra work. It was just my blogs. And Amazon doesn't really care about that you already have it as a blog out there. Yeah, you could. I mean, nobody, like other retailers, don't care as well. You could, as long as you don't put it as exclusive. They're fine with it. One thing else I wanted to mention is that some people might think like, what, I'm not, I don't have expertise in a very specific case for me to write a book about it. But if you actually look, more and more people are actually just interested in personal stories and experiences. You don't have to write an academic book for it to become popular, as long as you have a story to tell, and if you just have your own personal opinions, as long as you make it clear that these are just your view of it, and you're not making it seem as if it's an academic work, and you're just honest with your audience, people appreciate that, and other people are just interested in seeing different perspectives from different kind of people. And especially if you're someone from somewhere, from a place where many people want to hear about. For example, if you live in countries where atheism is very frowned upon, and you want to share your experiences, and if English is not your first language, what we're hoping to do is to have a good translate. Ali is working with a translating team, and I'm hoping that maybe non-English speaking authors get to have English books out there, and for many of them, that would be a more significant source of income, because when you have selling in U.S. dollars, and then we send them over there, that money could help them much more than it could for an author here. So I'm hoping that we could get to use this as a way to support atheist authors in third world countries or in very religious countries. That would be a very beautiful thing if we could get to that point somewhere at some point. Andrew, did you have something to add? I wrote in the chat if you had something to add, but I guess you didn't see it. I guess you're not hearing me right now either. Andrew? Oh no, he's not hearing me. He's talking to somebody. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay.
I think he might not know how to unmute.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's what I had to say. Oh,
well, speaking of the translation team, a lot of people in the translation team actually have been wanting to put out their own work, which I think is outrageously exciting. They want to write it. They want to write blogs. I know that Josh, one of our German translators, wants to start writing blogs for our German website, and he'll be more than happy to translate those to English for us as well. So I think that with introducing the translating team, opening up their mind, they get to read our stuff all day long, and they have opinions on it, and they want to say stuff. So it's fantastic. That's going to be another aspect of our writing team as well. We do have already right now one of Casper's books is already being translated into Spanish. So we have 2 different Spanish translators working on all of our books right now, one by one. So that'll be very exciting to get those done and get those out as well.
Yeah, and even if we don't have a translator for your language right now, what you could do is just join as a blogger and just write, for example, in Indonesian, and wait, and we could just keep collecting your work in Indonesian as blog posts until we have that's just an example, because in Indonesian we do have translators. But if we didn't have a translator, we could just collect your work and publish them on our Indonesian website, and then eventually we would have a translator to come translate them into English at some point, because we are accepting volunteers as translators. But even if you're not very good at English, and you don't want to translate and you just want to write in your own language, that's fine. We could start doing that right now, even without a translator. But hopefully eventually we're going to have translators for most languages. I think I wrote something here. Oh, one thing else is that I think the amount of work that this has taken has been very. I mean, Casper keeps telling us that he can do it, but I can see that it's just basically really taking a toll on him sometimes, even if he doesn't admit it. It's just so much work for just one person, and I think now more people are joining and helping him, but he doesn't even have the time to show other people how to help him sometimes, right? That's how busy he is. But I'm hoping that if you're interested in coming in and, if you think this is something valuable, if you think more authors from all around the world being able to, with not much hassle, be able to put their books out there, and maybe some atheists that are discriminated somewhere around the world now can become financially a little bit, find a way to make money from just writing about their experience. And if you think that's a good thing, and if you think that hearing from Arab atheists in the Middle East that nobody would have heard from because they don't speak English, and now all of a sudden they have access to a huge reader base on Amazon and iBooks just because we translated their works. If you think all these things are exciting and all these things are a worthy thing to do, and even if you don't want to write your own book and you just want to help out Casper and Ali to help other authors to be able to do this, please come to atheistrepublic.com. And at the top, there's, if you're interested in volunteering and helping out, there's a volunteer tab. If you're interested in becoming an author, you could just go to the contact section and then choose the publishing tab, and that will get you the place that you will send an email that goes directly to Casper. I also will add a link to the video of this Hangout, where you can see the already existing already published books of Atheist Republic. And you can see that some of them are new, but you can see the ones that have been out there for a while. You can see that they have been very popular. Yeah, so check those out, and also we have also free books if you also want to check out our free books. Oh, one thing else for my books, if you live in a country that you can't buy books on Amazon, or if you're too young to buy anything on Amazon, or if you don't have a credit card, or if you're just broke, just email me and I will send you a free PDF copy of my books, just for you to read and check out how we do our books. And or even if you don't want to write books and you just want to read our books, I'll send you a copy for free. Do you guys have, what else do you guys want to talk about? Do you have anything to add?
I think we should also add that our book, Your God is Too Small, is finally in print. and those are going to be available for purchase because it's an awesome book, and everyone should purchase that book. It's been free for a long time, and so I don't know if you just want your own copy. Yeah, definitely, please go purchase that book as well.
Oh, actually, that's another good point. If you do read our books, one thing that really helps us to reach to more people is reviews. So if you pick up like Casper's The Bible in a Nutshell, or Atheisting 101, which is a really funny book, or Your God is Too Small, or any of the Atheist Republic books, once you're done, if you could leave a review on Amazon or Goodreads or wherever you bought the book, and talk to people about your experience with the books, that really helps us. Reviews are really help the retailer to show your books to a larger number of audience. The more reviews you have, the more people are going to end up seeing the book. So that's if you think that this is a worthy cause, and if you want to support us in any way, reviewing our books are very helpful. And if anything is not clear and you have questions, just feel to go to atheistrepublic.com and go to the contact page and email us, and we'll answer any questions about any details we have. And and if it's not clear, and if you're not, one thing else I want to say, like, even if you start with Atheist Republic and all of a sudden you publish your book with Atheist Republic, but then you change your mind, the good thing is, unlike a publishing company, you're not stuck in a contract that you can't get out of. Because you kept the rights to your book, you could just change your mind at any time. So that's another advantage. That's a very valuable advantage. Most people don't know how valuable that is until they their book gets stuck with a publishing company. Because once you publish your book with a traditional publishing company, it's not yours anymore. You can't change the price, you can't change the cover, you can't change anything. It's not yours. It's theirs. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that a lot of people are going to notice that you can get Your God is Too Small and Atheisting 101. You can get those books for free in digital version. So why would you possibly want to buy them in print for a much higher price? And the reason is, all the proceeds from both of those books go directly back to Atheist Republic. We use those to help with the day-to-day expenses of the website, but also to help with our publishing division, to pay for the things that we have to pay for out of our pocket to help authors be able to get their words out there. It's not a free enterprise on our behalf. We do have to come out of pocket to help the author get it out there. We don't mind doing that. That's why we charge a small percentage to do that for the author. But at the same time, we do need every bit of donation and money that we can get to keep going until we recoup that. And that's for just every day-to-day expense and marketing and everything we have to do to provide a good product for our fans and for the people out there that want to be part of this community, because it doesn't run on love and smiles and rainbow farts. We do have to invest a lot of money, and by we I mean Armen. Armen is paying out of pocket extensively right now to help us promote everyone's words, and he's a very awesome guy for doing that. He does a lot of hard work, and every bit of hard work that I do is because he does 10 times as much as I do, and he won't take the credit for it. So yeah,
I think Casper sometimes gets disconnected, but he comes back very soon. So.
Okay, sorry, I got hung up for a minute. But yeah, everybody on the team is working their asses off because we know it's worth it. We know how hard our men has worked to get this off the ground, not just with publishing, but everything. And it's a big deal for us to have this community and have this family that's available to us is a big deal. So we put a lot into it, and if you're willing to give anything and you like something in return, buy one of those books. Atheisting 101 or Your God is Too Small, either of those books in print, all the proceeds go back to Atheist Republic. So if you're going to grab any of our stuff, grab those two. It's a great way to show your support.
All right. I guess we're good to end it here. All right, I think we are, because we're getting close to 1 hour, and I think we're good. Yeah, so I'll just add some links to the YouTube video version of this, and you check those out. You can see the list of all our books down there as well. All right, bye-bye.